Hello guys, myself Tushar Khanna, currently pursuing BTech from Institute of Engineering and Science, IPS Academy in Indore. I am passionate about coding and software development. So let's get deep dive into the project. So let's firstly deep dive into the backend part. So in backend, I've used the pandas, NumPy, AST, Pickle, sklearn, Python modules. Pandas for reading the CSV files and filtering also. So at last, I kept only two columns. Firstly is the movie ID column, which is generated in the IMDb dataset. And for second is the title column, which is the title of the movie. And third is the text column from which I generate the recommendations. At last, from the sklearn library, I made use of the cosine similarity module in order to generate the cosine similarity between two movies so that it generates the exact recommendation of the movies. So after backend, let's look into the front end. In the front end, I made use of the Streamlit library, which is a well-known open source platform used for deploying Python scripts. So in the front end library, I made use of somewhat little HTML and the API key, which is generated by the IMDb dataset. So after after generating the recommendation, I've generated the poster as well as the title of that movie to be displayed on the front end side. And for the deployment, I've used Heroku for the deployment service. Now let's get on to the GitHub repository. In the GitHub repository, I have included all the files which I made use on the project, and all the files I have included the Google Drive link also, because there is a limitation of GitHub on the file size. And in the README file, I have mentioned all the details which is needed to run the project. Now, let's look at the deployment. Firstly, a user has to enter his name and his age for correct recommendation. And after that, he can type the movie in order to select it and click on the show recommendation button in order to get the correct recommendation. And user can also select from the drop down list and get the recommendation. At last, I want you to know that I implemented functionalities partially, not completely. I tried my level best to achieve it, like implementing a database to store login values, major misclick time, but nothing is working out. Nevertheless, I learned a lot this month and will try to accomplish it in the next project. And at last, I would like to thank to Team Microsoft for giving me such a great project. Thank you.